Just like you, I enjoy warmer temperatures, but here's the problem. Those warmer temperatures causes trees like this one and flowers to bloom earlier than usual. That means the pollen is out earlier than usual. Add to that a wild wind that carries and mixes the pollen everywhere. What do you get? Earlier than usual seasonal allergies.
Tree pollen began picking up in February, which is not typical. Usually the first part of April is whenever we see tree pollen start to increase, and this year we've had just an earlier start to the season.
Kristen Evans is an allergist nurse practitioner with Bluegrass Allergy Care in Lexington.
We've seen a lot of patients with increase in drainage and congestion, itchy, watery eyes, just a lot of allergy symptoms.
Making this allergy season even more intense, the wild wind.
Those windy days really kind of stirs the pollen up.
But there's a few simple things you can do to survive seasonal allergies.
Get work done outdoors earlier in the day too when pollen counts are lower.
Also,
when you spend time outside too, shower as soon as you come in, just wash that pollen off.
Finally, you might want to keep those windows shut.
It's really tempting to keep your windows open, but that just really causes pollen just to come inside the home.
Because of a warming earth, the growing season here in central and eastern Kentucky is now longer. What does that mean? That means those pesky allergies, they're going to continue into the fall. On location in Lexington, I'm meteorologist Jason Lindsay, WKYT.